Oh, I got my storage together. So iPhone, come on. I'm hoping that everything's together. Got some paper. Let me move that shit. Some wrapping paper. I don't want to see a bunch of wrapping paper in the background. I'm gonna go this way. So yeah, man, I cleared up my iPhone. You know how I like to have all my videos and all my stuff where I can just upload them to you guys. And I really don't like not having my pictures. And I have like pictures of my son and videos. And I'm extra about archiving stuff. So I got OneDrive, I got Amazon, I got E1, I got about 5 different cloud apps. You know what I'm saying? So I think one time I lost something one time and I said it won't happen again. Something very interesting just happened when I was just at the store. Older white guy, he had a bunch of 2x4s and he was like, I don't know what he was doing with the wood, but he was going up the street, you know what I'm saying? And something very, very interesting happened. I really don't need this AC on right now. And he said, this guy's bullying me. I said, well, man, you know, might have to hit him with one of them 2x4s. The bullying gonna stop then. He said, well, yeah, the guy pulled a weapon out on me. I said, oh. So he's asking me to call. He said, well, yeah, the guy's trying to say it's his corner and all that. So now, look, they set tripping. The homeless is set tripping over corners. I peeped that out. I said, they set tripping over corners. I got this corner and this is where I'm gonna beg at, and you not gonna interfere. So he pulled a pipe. He's saying he pulled a pipe out on him. I said, well, call the law. Go in the cub and call the law. He said, well, can you call the police? I said, man, I can't be involved with the law, bro. He said, well, man, can you just call him and hang up? I said, man, I can't have no connections with the law, bro. I don't do the law. I don't do police, man. If I could avoid it, I don't really mess with the police. Cause see, when the police show up, they're gonna start taking names and, hey, your headlights is, you know, all kind of different little stuff. You know, like, nah, I don't do the police, man. I'm trying to think if I ever called the police before. I think I called them once. I called the police once. Somebody broke into my Tahoe, you know, when I stayed over south, and somebody, you know, they right across the street. So I'm like, man, can y'all come do it? I just want an incident report for my insurance and stuff like that. They wouldn't even come. You know, they were pretty much like, well, nigga, are you hurt? No. Okay. Is anybody around you hurt? No. He said, well, shit, you going to see about this Monday. Y'all right. You right across the street. You literally right across the street. We talking about the police station where the George Floyd that burned down. Y'all right, do your job. Come send somebody over here. Y'all, they got 1 million cop cars over there. They could have sent somebody. Just fill out the report so I could turn it into my insurance. Somebody broke my shit. They wouldn't come. Their attitude was like, if you ain't shot, stabbed, or beat up, man, we ain't trying to hear none of that. We ain't trying to hear none of that. So I'm not calling the police or whatever. If I got a situation I got to deal with, I'm just going to deal with it myself. You know, somebody might just have to call the police for you after I'm finished with your ass. I'm not about to, you know, I'm not going to do that. I have never been a person to say, well, then the police got to solve my issues or whatever. Like, no, I'd rather just give you the 2 pieces and a biscuit, and then when they come pick your ass up, then you just be, yeah, no, I don't, no, unless it's a car accident or something like that or whatever, I don't really want to call them. I don't. So he's like, call the police, bro. And I'm like, man, just walk in the Cub, man. Just walk in the Cub, and they'll take care of it. You know what I'm saying? They'll take care of it because, you know, I told him, he said, well, you got warrants or whatever? I said, man, I just don't do the law, bro. I try not to do the law. You know, if you just walk in the Cub, because he was headed up. He was like, it's a steep slope. So he was headed up. So I'm assuming the guy's homeless because you're not really going to see anybody doing something like that. So that's what I assumed. I assumed that the man was homeless, you know, and I ain't rendered no judgment against the man. You know, it's just that he said, man, you got warrants? I said, man, well, black folks get on the phone to call the police. Now they investigating me. they gonna be asking me all these damn questions and all that, and I'm not having that. No, I don't want to. Now I'm involved in the crime. If it's a pistol, if it's a weapon involved, you know, because at first my whole thing was he's bullying me, so I thought maybe the guy might have been. He didn't sound drunk, but he kind of just sounded, you know. And I said, man, he got all these 2x4s and he had wood. I said, man, go and slap the fuck out of him. You know me, I'm not nonviolent. I don't believe in nonviolence. I believe if somebody bullying you or whatever, you bully their ass back. I'm an 80s baby. You put your hands on me, and you gonna get creased. Straight up, you gonna get creased. I don't care how professional I am or what. Yeah, you put your hands on me, or you think that you gonna you gonna get socked. You gonna get socked like a 12-inch Jordan shoe. We not doing that. I don't believe in nonviolence. I never have. Since I was a 4 or 5-year-old, I've never believed in nonviolence. I don't believe you should just be bothering people and you shouldn't just be putting your hands on people. But I had a rule coming up. If you put your hands on me, then you just gonna get anything after that is that's on you. I'm no longer responsible after you do that. If you decide to just put your hands on somebody, I'm minding my own business, I ain't bothering nobody. Yes, anything that happens after that, after there's contact, you getting the 3-piece and the biscuit. And I'm not gonna have no clemency or no forgiveness after that. You just gonna get the business. That was the rule. That was the rule that was given to me as a child outside of school. But yeah, this guy, I seen the 2x4s, and when I hear bully, I just see wood. I see 2x4s and wood. So I'm like, man, go slap the shit out of him a couple times with that. He said, well, yeah, man, the guy got a gun. I said, oh, uh-oh. I said, well, that's not a fair fight. I said, you may have to call 911. He said, well, you call the police? I said, no, man, I get old white guy with a beard. He was real cool. I said, man, he said, you got warrants or something? I said, no, man. I said, a black man calls the police, things get kind of left. You know what I'm saying? They might start wondering, well, what do you have to do with it? No, we're not going to have that. Not at all. I said, just walk in the club and call the police. They'll come get his ass. If he a homeless man standing outside with a pipe, number one, he ain't supposed to have that shit. You know he ain't got a permit. He ain't got no permit. No, none of these homeless folks got permits. That's a hot pipe. Probably got a body on it. No. Call the police. They'll come get his ass. He didn't seem like he wanted to call the police, and I wonder why.